got your rear end and your well end. Your well end always has more junk on it. You can see this junk here. Whereas on this side, there's usually this fat. And if I pull the fat back, I'm pushing down on the knife and then cutting it because it's kind of curved. Right? So once I cut that, you see how clean this is. And you can see how ugly that is.
Hey, how do them still look for them? Alright, I just thought about it.
A little bit more.
Don't need to know. Pick it up a little bit more. Thank you. Now do it quick, Chris.
I like to do some of this cleaning now because there's weight. It keeps the meat stationary and I can grab it.
You got it. Coming at you.
You got asparagus?
Alright.
And a veggie omelet right here wearing.
So, well side, rare side, baseball will be here. This is my zipper meat that's going to come out. But you can see this line right here. This is the line I'm going to be following. And here's where I'm coming out. It's pretty easy to see that. Sometimes it's not so easy. But in the beginning, you can put a little notch so you know where you're going. So, just expose. That's what's coming out. And I could almost use my finger to trace it. I find it easier to flip it around.
I'll let you know.
Remember, I'm going here. Right? So something like that. Maybe. I put the tip of the knife on this because I can't cut through that.
Right.
And that allows me to stay on the line and then expose the entire line. So I'm entirely exposed.
I got table 11, right?
It's going to come off this side easily.
Alright, then making sure we got.
So I put my knife on an angle. I'm not cutting, I'm shimmying. Now on the rare side, I could easily cut through this very tough tendon because it's so thin down there. So I just try to be gentle. And I put this here and then I stand it up there. So now I can work on it. So I put my blade under about in the middle, and you can see how thick it is here. So I'm not too worried about going to the well side. But when I come back to the rare side, I'm going to hold this, create tension. And you can see, the intent is to scrape it basically as I take it off. So both sides, now it's out. There's a little bit of waste here. Not much. Play with it if I want. No big deal. So if we were to cook this, it wouldn't cook. It would slowly burn. It slowly burns, but there's nothing there. It will never. It just will never get better. Okay? So let's put it back together. We have our rare side and our well side. On the rare, I know this is rare because the meat has better structure, it's firmer, and on the well side, it's kind of mushy.
Okay.
All right. And I also have the zipper meat down here on the rare side. So take that out. So this too, pretty tough stuff. Nothing in there. So here's baseballs. Like 10 to 11 ounce baseballs. Perfect. Those of you watching at home are probably wondering, how does he know that's 10 to 11 ounces?
Whitebird,
30 years of cutting tells me. We'll break the scale out later. We'll test it if we want. So this is the well done side of the barrel section where we got these two baseballs. The well done side. This is where we would be. We're going to put it back together. Rare. Second cut. Last cut always has this kind of extra junk in here. So before I make my last cut, I want to make sure I'm down to nothing but meat. Let's see this in here. Notice I'm using this part of the knife to cut rather than here. Here is just too far away.
Yeah.
This is easier to use. It's usually sharper because it's not used that much.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get nice. Now, because this is from the well done side, I don't want them to be confused. I'll butterfly it. So I butterflied it.
Yeah, once you get rid of that, you got 16. Right now.
So now for them to cook that, they know that this is not a rare cut because it's so thin. So I've, in a way, communicated to the guy on the grill guy. Here we are on the first cut of the rare side. We always go from rare to well because if we miss a steak, we want it to be well. I'd rather throw away a well steak than a rare steak.
Right.
So I'm going to face it. And this gives me a nice cooking surface for the grill guy. This is probably the hardest cut because it's kind of not much surface area here, but then a lot of surface area here. So that's a harder cut.
And you leave that fat before the portion of it off?
Okay, go ahead, Stein. Get ready to run that 37, bro. Bird 37.
I'm allowed to leave a little.
Go right there. Fries right there. No time
Excuse in between, above. Sorry.
Seven salads out the back.
You're fine.
Heard that?
Now we're getting into primetime steaks, where I could do a lot of things. I could nice thin flat, or I could double it up and get some thicker baseball-like steaks. But we've got a lot of baseballs up here. Got some more here. So when I cut that, I want it to be the same thickness everywhere, so they don't have a doorstop.
Yeah.
So I go to the board and then hold it. The blade never leaves the cutting board.
Oh, sorry.
Start at 37. That's 1, 2, 3. 37.
Last cut here, don't mess it up.
Follow.
See, as we got to the well done side, we went from beautiful
Full hand.
to not so beautiful. That's why this is well. This line is down here in the middle. So to take care of that, I'll cross it.
Behind. Yeah, Tim, you didn't see that grilled chicken.
That allows the heat to get up there and break it down a little bit.
Hot pan right there.
You can see even the difference from this side here to the other side. This is closer to the rare side, and that's closer to the well side. It has nothing to do with the quality of the meat. It has to do with this line.
Oh, I was going to say, did it have to do with you poking the holes?
That helps heat get up in there and break it down.